This is Swipe, coming up on the show.
Angela finds out how tech could improve your social skills. I go crash testing with a next-generation protective material. And Chris has this week's games review, including the third instalment in the Mafia series.
Welcome to Swipe. This week, we've been thinking about first impressions. We all know they do count, but not everyone finds it easy to relax and shine and be themselves, especially when under pressure, like in a job interview. So what's that got to do with tech? Well, this week, Angela has been speaking to the developer behind a new computer system designed to help make you a better you.
Just relax and be yourself.
Can computers teach us to be our best selves?
Why don't you start with providing some details about your professional background?
A researcher at the University of Rochester in the US believes this is the case. He's created a computer system that trains people to excel in social settings, like a job interview. The program has a virtual businesswoman who can recognise your expressions and prompt you with further questions as you chat via a webcam. At the end of the conversation, she'll give you feedback about your interpersonal performance, including your body language and eye contact.
From the video data, we look for a face, and once you find a face, you look at the facial features, where your eyes are located, what's happening in your muscles. And based on this movement, we try to predict your expression. That's are you smiling? If you are, how much are you smiling? From the audio data, we try to extract prosody.
This is about intonation, so how you vary your voice as you speak.
It is designed to assist individuals with social skills difficulties.
There are also apps offering simulated interview environments and more general ones teaching you to relate, relax and reason with others.
The fear of interacting with other people is one of the most commonly reported phobias, according to a report carried out by Anxiety UK. Public speaking is something else that gives many people the jitters, but not everybody agrees that help should be automated.
Personal development coach Donna Hubbard is one of them.
Well, I think technology is a great first step. In my experience as a coach, I feel there does come a point, however, where helping an individual to learn new techniques and new strategies to be able to enter a trigger situation for real is the best way forward.
What if you could practice public speaking in the privacy of your own home?
Whether automated assistance appeals or not, it's hoped for those who try it, over time the level of supported exposure will help someone to feel more confident. Angela Barnes, Sky News.
Coming up, Chris grapples with this year's WWE game. That and more in this week's Games Review. But first,
Stay with us because I'll be finding out just how tough is tough enough with a unique kind of protective clothing. That's coming right up after a roundup of this week's tech news.
Google's announced a new smartphone. Pixel, which comes in two sizes, is being seen as competition for the likes of Apple and Samsung. The company says it has the best mobile camera ever made and that just 15 minutes of charging gives the phone 7 hours of battery life. Google's also unveiled a virtual reality headset to work with the new phone and other Android devices. Sky, which owns Sky News, is getting well and truly stuck into virtual reality with the launch of a dedicated app. It's compatible with Android, iPhone and Oculus and starts with 22 VR films, and there are more on the way. A kit for E. coli that allows users to detect the deadly disease quickly while at a water source has been developed by Canadian scientists. A team from Toronto's York University created a hydrogel matrix which is inserted into water samples. The gel changes colour within an hour of contact with infected water. Test results can then be instantly broadcast to local people by a mobile app, telling them if the water is safe to drink. Global kids app developer Tokaboka has launched a video streaming service for children. It includes curated content and a DIY recording tool. The company says everything is pre-screened to ensure it's appropriate, so parents don't have to worry about what their kids are watching. And a robot has been unveiled by car maker Toyota that could provide companionship for anyone who's lonely, if you don't mind its squeaky voice. The Korobo Mini is just 4 inches tall and will go on sale in Japan for £300.
We love it when we get to investigate clever materials here on Swipe, especially when they have a purpose for good. So when I heard about a special kind of energy-absorbing material being trialled to help protect motorcyclists and other sports people, I went straight to the developers lab at Imperial College London to see it in action.
This helmet is about to suffer a major blow, coming at it with a speed of 6.2 metres per second.
This is actually the peak rotational acceleration.
What does that mean? Is that the spin, the sort of whiplash effect?
Yeah, it's similar to whiplash. It's effectively how much the head is, whipping around from that impact.
And how badly injured would the person wearing that helmet have been?
So if we look at this trace, the peak of this trace is actually at about 6,500 kilorads a second squared, and that would roughly equate to about an 80% chance of concussion or an 80% chance of mild traumatic brain injury.
And now repeat the test, but this time using a helmet lined with Armourgel, an energy-absorbing material that Dr. Plant and his team have been developing for the past 10 years with the help of a government grant.
3, 2, 1.
If we look at the peak here of this helmet, that translates to just below 4,500, actually 4,300 kilorads a second.
And what does
squared.
that mean for injury to the rider?
So this is obviously a large reduction in the measured rotational acceleration, but that actually equates to about a 20% chance of concussion or a 20% chance of mild traumatic brain injury.
So what is it about the Armourgel helmet that's made the difference?
So we've been adding these energy-absorbing components, and we've been adding these elements around the helmet, and they help absorb that energy.
Do these affect the comfort for the rider?
To some extent, they go between the comfort liner and the helmet, and they help the helmet to actually sit kind of on top of the head a little bit better.
Does it cost more than a standard helmet if you get one lined with Armourgel?
There'd be a small price increase, but we're only adding quite small elements here.
So what kind of price increase?
A couple of percent, really.
Armourgel's rubbery-looking internal pockets stiffen on impact. Dr. Plant originally designed the material for elderly people so it would protect them if they fell over.
So we have an Armourgel component in here that fits over the hip and absorbs the energy in a sideways.
But this is underwear, right? So
absolutely.
how easy is it to wash?
Yeah, you can wash these.
Every day?
Every day.
They're that durable?
For a year. And here you can see a suit that some of our downhill mountain bikers wear.
Is this quite hot though and heavy to wear?
I mean, it's very flexible and breathable, so when you wear it, you actually hardly notice it's there.
And the team's also been working on gloves.
So we've been adding components here to protect the knuckles against fracture for the MOD.
Dr. Plant says the latest Armourgel helmets have been developed with 2 top helmet manufacturers and are due to launch this year. Now time for this week's games review, including plenty of action and adventure. Here's Chris.
Mafia III takes place in the late 1960s, and you play as a guy called Lincoln Clay who's just come back from Vietnam. And it's not really a game of many subtleties, to say the least. It is a very violent tale of revenge, but it's actually told quite well via some pretty good dialogue. It sort of reminded me of L.A. Noire, if anyone out there played that in 2011.
Darn it. I didn't know you was coming. I'm just packing away your latest shipment.
But the amazing facial technology that they use, the animation's very good in this game. And they've recreated New Bordeaux in a way that is visually absolutely stunning. And like I say, it's a tale of revenge. You go through block by block of New Bordeaux, retaking bits from the Mafia, and this brings in some kind of cool new management elements where you have to manage your gang, and it also means you can bring people in. It's incredibly violent, sort of crass in a way, but it also handles things like race relations in late 1960s America in quite an honest way, and I think it does everything that you would expect from a Mafia game, if not better. I'm a huge wrestling fan, and as such, WWE 2K17 was something I was really waiting for. To me, 2K have kind of nailed the fundamentals of a wrestling game, but stripped back a lot of the features that we'd sort of gotten used to in the older games before 2K took over. This year, WWE 2K17 is coming in with a hot tag that is going to rate on the AE podcast scale very highly, I think. It's brought in a slower pace of gameplay, which to me means you're actually putting on a wrestling match rather than trying to create a fighting game, which wrestling isn't really. It's not. It's more of a dance. It's more of a performance, and slowing down the gameplay means you can put on that sort of a performance to the crowd, and you can get everyone excited and do all that kind of stuff. It's really cool. management mode's been expanded. My career mode, you can cut promos in my career mode now. So you can be talking down the camera, cutting promos at people. Who doesn't want that? Now they've started putting in all these features that we were missing from before. This is one of the best ever. I mean, the only thing that's missing is maybe a history lesson from How to Wrestling's Joe Graham. That would be amazing. But you can't have it all. But you've got a lot here in WWE 2K17. Gears of War 4 is just fun. First and foremost, it is just a ton of fun. You follow JD Phoenix, who's the son of Marcus Phoenix from the previous games.
A storm is coming, and my son is walking right into it.
It's just a nostalgic trip of fun for me. The story's a little darker, if anything, as it goes along and deals with some... I mean, Gears of War's always dealt with dark themes, but this does go to some very dark places. But sitting with a friend on a couch, playing the main campaign together was just a ridiculously fun ride for me.
If we don't stop these things, everyone within 1,000 miles dies.
Horde mode's always been really fun in Gears of War, and they kind of innovated and then iterated on that thing. The multiplayer's fun. Not really the main element for me, but I know there's a lot of people out there. There's even a competitive scene around it, and they all play it. If you're looking to play Gears of War and you're looking to have that same feeling you had when you played Gears of War for the first time on the Xbox 360, for me, this did that. Like, it's not the best game you'll ever play, and it's not going to change your life, but neither did the original Gears of War. You're going to enjoy it. Play with someone else. That's my advice. Play it co-op. You'll have a lot of fun.
Well, that's it for this week. But don't forget, you can watch any of our Swipe episodes on our YouTube playlist. Just type in Sky News Swipe. And you can stay up to date with all the latest tech stories throughout the week by taking a look at Sky News on mobile, tablet, catch-up, SkyQ and Snapchat. I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.